Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing really well. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shab and thank you for joining. If you are new here, I'd really appreciate it if you would stick around, subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you like this kind of thing. So I did a little poll on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on there, my username is the same as my YouTube, which is shab.xox. And I asked everyone what would they prefer to see. So I had like full face high-end, full face drugstore, full face of certain products. The highest yes basically was a full face of drugstore. So I wanted to jump straight into that. I love drugstore. I do like high-end products as well, but I think that you can get really nice products that are affordable and great value, great quality, and you don't always need to spend a lot of money to be able to, you know, have nice products basically. So here it is, a full face of drugstore makeup. I've tried to mix it up with a variety of different brands and also some products that I've never tried before, so first impressions kind of included too. We've got some Revolution, we've got some Sheglam, we've got some NYX Cosmetics, we've got some Rimmel, and yeah, Beauty Crop as well. We had a few blips along the way, but this is me and this is what happens. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video and let's get into it. So first up, I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me primer, which you can use as a moisturiser as well. It's pretty moisturising. It's quite a thick cream. I've used this in quite a few videos, but I really like it. So I'm going to use it again. Nice and fresh. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the NYX Born to Glow foundation, which I've never actually tried before. So it's in the shade Fair. I think it might be too light, but I don't know. So I'm going to put this on with a flat foundation brush from Brushworks. I'm just going to squeeze some directly onto the brush and put it on like that. Oh, to be fair, it's probably my natural skin tone, but I usually do go a shade darker, to be honest, just out of personal preference. Let's do a bit more. That wasn't a lot at all. Just going to do lots of tiger stripes. And then I'm going to blend it in with a beauty blender. It's quite a good colour match actually. So sorry if you can hear my belly growling. I look really, really light, I think, on... I mean, we're going to warm it up anyway. Fine. At this rate, the concealer is going to be darker than the foundation, however. I'm a little bit poorly again as well, so apologies if I'm like sniffling. I'm just going to put it directly onto the sponge. I'm going to do another little bit. I would say light coverage. Light to medium maybe. I am quite a full coverage person, but I think if you like light coverage, then you probably really, really like this. It feels very lightweight, it's not cakey or anything. It's very matte, it's a little bit tacky, which is good, I suppose. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Revolution Eye Bright Concealer, which is pretty new still. I haven't actually used this yet, I don't think. I might have tested it out, I'm not sure. I got it in the shade Fair. By the sticker, it's going to be darker than the foundation. But let's see. Okay, it's not coming out. So it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be, which is good. I do like these sponge applicators, to be fair. I'm going to put it down my nose, forehead. I've got a little bit of redness around my nose, so I'm just going to put it there. I also have on my chin. And I'm going to do underneath my cheekbone as well. I've been really enjoying doing that. I look crazy. It felt very wet, if that makes sense. It's quite a thin formula, that. Yeah, so I wasn't expecting it to be that wet, but it was. Blend that in with Beauty Blender. So the coverage is quite good, actually. It's covered up that redness that I had still around my nose and my chin and stuff, so that's good. It is very thin. It feels quite good for your skin, though. It's got vitamin C in it, hasn't it? So, you know, it's brightening. Yeah, I quite like it. It's a very, very similar shade to the foundation. So they're quite a good match for each other. That foundation is one of the cheapest that I've got in my collection. And there's nothing really, you know, wrong with that. So I'm just going to set underneath my under eyes, and I'm going to actually use the Sheglam setting powder, the Insta Ready. So I did a full face of Sheglam and I absolutely love this. I have hit pan, I don't actually have much left. So this is the under eye that I've been using. So as you can see, I've used a lot. And then you get the face translucent powder underneath. So the top one is quite brightening. So I'm going to use the little sponge that you can get from Sheglam as well, which is the little peach sponge, which I've been loving using these two. So I'm just going to do under my eyes with the top. This is really quite brightening, so if you don't like that, you can just use the bottom all over, but I quite like to bake with this. I'm going to do under my cheekbone here with this as well. Voila. I'm going to leave that a little bit, and then I'm going to use the bottom, the powder in the bottom, which is, as you can see, it looks darker, it is translucent. I use just a tiny amount of this and I go across my forehead here. I'm going to go dust over my nose and pat that in. This is just a really old e.l.f. brush, which I love for doing this. And then around my mouth. I get really prominent smile lines here, so I just like to do this to kind of stop any like cracking in between there. And then what I do is I'll go over with the same brush and I will pat that in rather than sweeping it off. Like so. It does really, really smooth out your skin. I absolutely love that. I definitely think I'll repurchase that again when I've finished it. My nose is going red already. It's an issue. I'm going to do a little bit of liquid contour, and I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, which is in a shade too dark for me, and I'm going to use this, I think it's Caramel, to ever so slightly warm my face up a little bit. So I'm going to just do little dots here and here and here. I'm going to use a beauty blender and I'm just going to blend that in. It's a good job I'm not going out anywhere. Like so. Just blend, 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 blend. It's a little bit harsh on this side, but it is what it is. There we go. So that's warmed my face up nicely. I think that's really good. I just need to use less, especially when the foundation was so light. I think that that's probably, you know, slightly too dark. You can see it's a little bit harsh on this side. So next up, I'm going to use some bronzer, and this is the cheapest bronzer I could find in my collection. It's so cheap. This is from the brand Sunkissed. So if you're from the UK like me, you might you know about this. You can get it in places like B&M and Home Bargains and all those kind of places. They usually have like Sunkissed range. Other than this, the cheapest bronzer that I use would probably be like the Doll Beauty, and I don't think you can class them as drugstore. I mean, I'd say the medium kind of price range. So I've chose to use this. It's quite dark. It's quite dark. It's just a matte bronzer. There's no shimmer in it or anything, which is really good. I'm gonna kind of go over my neck and everything first, hopefully. yeah, it's not overly pigmented, so I'm just gonna go across my jawline. Even though it looked a bit dark compared to my foundation, it's not scary at all. It's a little bit on the warm side, but I think most bronzers are, to be honest. Unless you're looking at like a Benefit Hoola, which is like one of the most perfect shades ever. Generally I find that they are quite warm for me because I am so neutral toned, or pink even. So I'm just going to go over where I did the contour and just kind of set that in place really with the bronzer. The bronzer isn't scary at all, so if you wanting an affordable, non-scary, then this is quite a good shout. I think this was like £3 or £4 or something. It is looking a bit harsh on that side. I'm gonna try and fix it. It's probably the light more than anything, because the light's on this side, so because I don't feel like this side is that harsh. Next up, we're gonna do blusher, and I'm gonna use the Lottie London, I think it's Haze. I feel like everybody has this blusher. It's the ombre shade. Again, it looks scary. I'm just using a Beauty Bay blusher brush. I'm just going over everything with my beauty blender because I just always like to do that. Blends everything together. Then I'm going to do a little bit of highlighter. So I'm going to use the I Heart Revolution Divine Heartbreakers. Again, really affordable. And you get so much product in here. Like, this is probably going to last me forever. But it's a really, really nice champagne colour, this one. Okay, so I'm just using... This is like my favourite highlighter brush. Spectrum random brush. I'm going to do the end of my nose. It smells amazing as well. I don't know what the smell is, but it smells amazing. Wow, look at that. Wow. A little bit on my lip. I'm going to do bridge of my nose as well. Fabulous. Fabulous, darling. Fabulous. I feel like I'm whizzing right through this. It's just going to be a really kind of everyday look. I think I'm probably going to do a bold lip because this is me. But, oh my God, look at that. We're going to do eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the Revolution Glow palette. I actually think I got this free at some point in something, I'm sure. But it's got a nice selection here of neutrals. Obviously some warmer tones in here as well. And then you get a couple of shimmers as well. I'm going to do a bold lip, so I'm not going to go crazy on the eye. I'm going to do it quite neutral. I don't know, I'm going to wing it as I'm going along. But yeah, cute. It's really nice packaging as well. It feels really like good quality. A Real Techniques brush. I'm just going to do the lightest shade all over the lid. I mean, that's pretty much the same colour as my eyelid. I actually think I really like this foundation, you know. That highlighter is just a joke. No, that is beyond a joke. If you like a wham bam highlighter, then there you go. I'm going to get a fluffier brush. I'm just going to get the brown, and we're going to hope it's not too in your face daringly brown. And it's not. I'm going to do it pretty much all over the lid. And just blend it out into the crease. I really wanted just a simple kind of eye. I mean, it might not end up that way because I get a bit carried away. Does anybody else get really carried away? It's a really, really nice neutral brown. Like, it's not warm at all, which is what I wanted. I'm going to go back in with the lighter shade. I'm just going to do the inside like so. And it's just smoking, kind of smoothing the inside of that shade out. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense in my head anyway. I really like that brow. It's not overly pigmented by any means, but I know the palette is quite affordable and stuff, so, you know, I'm not overly fussed. So I'm going to do a little bit under my eye. I'm going to smudge it in a little bit, like so. With a smaller brush, this could go horribly wrong. I'm just deepening up the outer crease with the medium red. That definitely didn't go to plan. Okay. It's just a really smoky kind of, I have no idea what's going on kind of eye. Right, there's a dark glitter in the corner, so I'm just gonna, ooh, it's dark. So that just completely changed the look. That is so pigmented. I don't think I'm going to be able to do much else with that, so I'm just going to try and blend it all in. I think I should have just probably thought that through a little bit better. And then I'm just going to clean up the outside. I mean, I wouldn't wear this every day, so I've definitely crossed the line on the, let's just do a simple everyday look. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to do one layer of mascara. So I'm actually going to use another Revolution product. This is the Revolution 5D Lash Extra Dimension Mascara, and I absolutely love this. I have been reaching for this pretty much every day recently. I think it's fab. So I'm just going to do one coat of this on the top lashes. I'm going to actually, before I do my lashes, I'm going to use the Rimmel Wonder Wing. I think this is very old. I'm not sure. I think that's the best I'm going to get out of it. So I've done a little cat eye wing using that. Again, really affordable. I think in its heyday, it was probably really good, but it's just kind of on its way out. I'm going to use the Sheglam eyelash glue. This is an eyeliner as well, but what I've found that I really like to do is, because I don't want to make an absolute mess with this and be really careful with it, I like to do an eyeliner first and then use this on top of it, and it kind of gives you a guide. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. My eyelashes have stayed on absolutely fine. There's been, you know, it's not kind of peeled off or anything because it's on top of another eyeliner. I just think that it's worked really well because it gives me a guide, and yeah. I'm going to use a layer of this. I want to pop some eyelashes on. This is the Sheglam one that I used in the full face of Sheglam. So I just like to kind of wiggle it around in the top to take off any excess liner glue. Fair, that fills in any gaps, so it looks better already. The eyelashes I'm going to use are Doll Beauty Eva lashes. They're cut in half. They're still, lengthwise, they're probably too long for me because of my glasses, but I do really like them. I'm just going to pop them on, and it still amazes me how good it is. Done. So the eye is looking a million times better already. Just kind of glides on over any eyeliner as well. It's just no issue, but I just feel like that works better than putting it on its own, just because I tend to make a mess. It gives me a second chance at doing an eyeliner. Done. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. Again, using the Revolution 5D Lash. I have got quite a little bit of fallout on the inside of my eye there, but we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it because So it's too far past it. Moving on to eyebrows. And yes, I'm fully aware I do my makeup in a very strange way. I know, I am aware. I'm going to comb through my eyebrows. I'm just using a random spoolie. And I'm just going to push them up. My eyebrows seem to be growing as well, by the way. They've been like so sparse for ages, and all of a sudden, I don't know where the hairs are coming from, but they seem to be growing. I'm obviously going to use the NYX eyebrow pencil. This is a micro brow pencil in espresso because I always use it. I'm like a broken record. So I'm gonna really lightly go underneath my eyebrow, a little bit heavier on the tail of the brow, and then I'm going to comb brush really lightly to kind of fill in all the sparse areas with brush strokes. And then when it gets to the middle to the end, I just go sideways. What I've really enjoyed doing, because I am a little bit of a nightmare for making my eyebrows too harsh at the front, so I do comb them through. After I've done that, I'll brush in the same direction that I have filled them in. But I tend to press a little bit harder on the front when I'm doing it, so kind of turning it on an angle so it's kind of pointing into my head and then brushing through. What do we think? Are they sisters? Are they twins? Are they just, you know, long distant relatives that don't like each other? I don't know. I'm gonna get a little angle brush, and this is quite a tough brush, and it actually really helps me with the front. So I just go over it without any product on it whatsoever, and I just start at the front and make my way back, and then I turn it the other way, start at the top, and it kind of like blends it in better and fades out the colour. And then I am going to use some of the brow gel by Beauty Crop, the BFF Beauty Crop gel. And I'm just going to comb through. This is just clear gel, but I'm just going to comb through in the direction I've brushed them and filled them in. And this really helps to stand the hairs up at the front and in the middle, and then you can kind of neaten them down at the end of the tail. I hope they're all right. Not got my glasses on, absolutely fine. But the next thing I'm going to do is going to be lips, and I am actually going to be using NYX again. I'm going to use a combo that I like. So it's the NYX Professional Lip Liner in Spicy and the NYX Suede lipstick in Spicy too. This is a pretty bright red, but I really like it. So I do tend to do my full lips with the lip liner because I feel like it keeps the lipstick on better. And then the lipstick is actually a little bit darker than the lip liner, which I know is a bit weird, but like the lip liner is definitely more pink. What I would usually do is I blot and then I reapply. So this is the finished look. Full face, drugstore. I don't think there's anything here that's more than £10. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't always need to have expensive products. You can get a full face out of really nice drugstore products that, you know, do just as good a job. Let me know down below what you think of the look. I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm happy with how it turned out. The eyeshadow was a little bit of a disaster, but I think that's just my fault because I didn't plan exactly what I was doing. But yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.